right, YouTube. Y'all know what time it is, man. This is your boy JMMA here. Back with another one. Today, have a special guest, another special guest, Mr. Eryk Anders. How you doing?
What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir. And how's life been treating you? Because your last fight, you haven't fought in quite a bit. The last time you fought was the Connor, what was it? Connor? The Connor Dustin card, right? Or the Connor Oliver, not Connor, Charles Oliveira and Dustin card, right?
Yeah, in December. Yeah,
Yeah.
life is good. Uh, Speaking of that, hoping to hear about a fight here in the near future. But until then, just chilling, hanging out, training, just waiting for the phone to ring.
Yes, sir. And off rip, I just want to ask you something. You see that Hamzat Chimaev has moved over to Tiger Muay Thai, and you fought an opponent who was notoriously like quote unquote the boogeyman and Khalid Roundtree. When he was at Tiger Muay Thai, everybody was like, "Oh my goodness!" He's the next best thing to come out of Tiger Muay Thai. When you fought Khalil, was there anything that was like, okay, that hurt a little bit? Was there anything like surprising about fighting him?
Um, to be honest, I mean, not really. I mean, yeah, he came out like Muay Thai, but at the end of the day, strikes are strikes. I don't think that uh, because he was doing Muay Thai, it threw me off. I think a combination of Roundtree revamping himself mentally and me having just a bad night, kind of to led to the culmination of me getting my ass whooped. But was it him training at Tiger Muay Thai? Like, I don't think it was like any techniques or anything that they showed. I think that he was just on his A game that night.
Right. And you're known to come from a football background, winning a national champ. That's like one of the best accolades in college football. You under one of, not one of, let's be honest, Nick Saban's the greatest college football coach of all time. What am I talking
100%.
about? You come from under the greatest, college football coach of all time. How did that transition, come about?
Well, the NFL thing didn't work out for me, and I found myself working at 9 to 5, and just frustrated all the time. So I walked into a gym to go blow off some steam, and sparred one time and fell in love with the sport. So been training and fighting ever since.
Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear. And how was it actually, being under, Nick Saban, having him as your head coach, being at, one of the most prominent college football schools? Like, how was that experience?
It was awesome. It's more than just X's and O's with him. He kind of teaches you how to be a man, the process, and how you can use that philosophy for anything, not just football. So I kind of take it and apply it to daily life, and make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's, so to speak.
Yes, sir. And is there anything that you took from him, and have you applied it to your MMA career so far?
He talks a lot about the process and doing everything that you have to do to even have a chance at winning. So I just try to apply that to my strength and conditioning, or not strength and conditioning, my training, because there's just things that you can't neglect, like strength and conditioning, running, showing up to the gym every day to train, and putting in forth effort, and getting better, and mental reps as well. Not everything has to be physical. You can watch film of yourself or your opponent, and learn from mistakes, or see holes in their game to capitalize on.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And there's been a lot of controversy behind, not controversy, but a lot of conspiracies going out there about the Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis fight. So Derek Lewis, he was out on his feet and he took a elbow from Tai Tuivasa. Now, many people think that Derek Lewis quit, or like he just gave up, or he threw the fight or whatever. Can you kind of like explain for some who like don't train, they're just fans of the sport, when you're like out on your feet like that, and you got a damn near 300-pound man coming after you trying to rip your head off, like how hard like is that?
Man, I just challenge anybody who says that about Derek Lewis, especially in his hometown. Like that's the last place you want to lose, right? At the crib. So, I challenge them to take an elbow to the chin by a man of any weight, and see how that works out for you. I think that is preposterous to think that Derek Lewis would take a fall, take a dive in his hometown. Dude, if somebody face plants, the fight's over with, dude. It's not like he was falling forward trying to catch himself. He got hit and fell face first. So the fight's over with. I could see if he was like trying to get up, or he was stumbling or whatever, but it wasn't even that. He got hit with an elbow by Tuivasa, who's a big boy, and so I don't think Darren Lewis out here, taking L's for money. He's getting paid well enough, anyways.
Right, and also I want to jump to not your last fight, well, 2 fights ago, against Darren Stewart on the Leon Edwards Belil Muhammad card. With Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling, that whole knee controversy thing. You and Darren Stewart went in there, and you were looking. I don't want to play favoritism because I'm interviewing you, but I'm known to keep it honest. You it looked like he was about to beat his ass. Be honest.
Yeah, I was winning.
He was winning, and you threw the illegal knee. A lot of people don't know in the heat of the moment, is it kind of hard to like remember? All right, I can't do this. I can't remember what the ref told me. Things like that.
Excuse me. No, I don't think so. With me, it was more so of him like playing the game up, down, I'm down, I'm up. And I thought that I was catching him on the way up, and he wasn't. So it's just a little mistake on my part. And then he tried to act a little bit and win an Oscar and act like that he was knocked out and couldn't continue. Which, all he should have just said was give me my 5 minutes. And, just because you pass like the doctor, the doctor comes in and tells you walk in a straight line, asks you a bunch of questions, you can still, answer all those questions and take your 5 minutes. He tried to.
So you got a fight coming up, right? You got not a fight coming up. You've been talking about, you got fights coming up and things like that. Has there been like anything concrete so far? Or is it just like you're weighing out your options or something like that?
No, it's not even weighing out options. I'm just, waiting for a name, waiting for a contract and a date. And, we go from there.
Is there anybody that you would like to fight? Are you eyeing, you're looking at, I know those guys are well, not highly ranked. They're in the middle of the road rank. You're looking at Jamal Hill or a Johnny Walker because they're fighting this weekend. Are you looking at one of them as a possible opponent?
Man, them boys 205. I'm fighting 85. Or I would prefer to, but kind of whenever the phone rings, I go.
Yeah. And you took the Khalid Roundtree fight at 205, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. With like now that you're bouncing back in between, you see Hamzat, he's bouncing back between 170 and 185. Are you just a solidified 185er, or it's like if the matchmakers call you and they're like, hey, there's a 205 fight, that I think you like, would you take it?
Yeah, for sure. They already know that whenever, if they need a short notice 205, I'm their guy.
Yes, sir. And I usually ask everyone is in this when that I interview this question. It's kind of a weird question, but you're on a stranded island and you have absolutely no food to eat. And then a cruise ship passes by and they say, Eryk, you can come on this cruise ship and you can take one food, a lifetime supply. Is one food. What food you taking?
I'm a burger guy, so I probably, either burgers or pizza.
Oh,
One of the
you
two.
know
I
that's
probably have to flip a coin. Probably burgers though, because comes it's got lettuce and meat, and the bun is carbs, so it's probably more nutritious for somebody starving on an island than pizza is.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Like people like I asked them that question and like they really think about it. You was just like so quick on your feet about it. He was like,
I know,
burgers. That's crazy.
I know what I like.
Yeah. And I'm gonna just ask you this last question before we go. Looking at the 185 landscape right now, you got Izzy, you got Whitaker, you got Vittori, Costa, all these guys coming in, and they're facing the champion Israel Adesanya, and there's been a lot of displeased with Izzy about his fight style, how he tends to point fight and he's not pushing a fight, and his opponents are trying to push the fight and he's not engaging and things like that. What are your whole thoughts around how Izzy's last few fights have transpired?
I mean, why? I mean, he doesn't need to take a risk. He just needs to win fights. He just got that big contract, so it's he's one of those guys that he does so much um, outside the cage that he doesn't have to like go out there and knock everybody out inside the cage. He's a draw. People like him. He's got a great personality. He's good on the microphone, so he can like sell a fight outside of his performance, if that makes sense. As long as he keeps winning, it's all good. And I think he's kind of always been a point fighter. But sometimes he catches guys and knocks them out. Like if you watch the Romero fight, they just kind of stood there and looked at each other. You may tell me that guy couldn't knock out Anderson Silva, couldn't have finished Anderson Silva if he wanted to. He likes to fight. He likes to, be in that moment. So if all he has to do is touch and win, I wouldn't say like he's touching and running. He's really good at distance management. I think he's probably the tallest 85er in the division. So you have to beat him, dude. You have to go get him. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the way he's fighting.
Yeah, and all right, that wasn't like I just thought of a question since you brought up point fighting. There's is the guy who's knocked him out, Alex Pereira. He's fighting at 185. He just got a amazing KO with the flying knee that he got. If they come to you and say, and he has a lot of hype. He's probably one of the best kickboxers in the world right now. They come to you with that fight. I'm not gonna ask you, are you taking it? Because you're a fighter. I know you're not gonna turn down a fight. But is that a fight that like intrigues you a lot? Because it's like a hard puzzle to solve.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really the one fight intrigues me more than the other. It's just whoever's name comes across, that paper. Each fighter is their own, puzzle to solve. Some of those puzzles may be like a 4-piece puzzle. Another puzzle like Adesanya might be one of them like 2,500 piece puzzles. So each fight presents its own problems to solve and whatever. So I'm always up for a challenge. So whatever.
Yes, sir. And I'm actually gonna let you go. No, you're a very busy man. I know we was been supposed to do this. And I hit you up kind of the day of, and you still, you know, said okay. So I really appreciate that. Um, to all everybody out there, man, y'all know what time it is. Peace, love, and prosperity. Love everybody. Do something productive with your day. Y'all already know beating your meat is not productive. So go do something productive with your day. All right, y'all. All right. It's been your boy JMMA. It's been a pleasure, Mr. Anders. Anything else you want to say?
Man, just thank you everybody for the love and support, and make sure to tune in for the next one.
Yes, sir. And I'll see y'all on the next one, man. It's been your boy, and I'm out, man. Peace.